Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Myself Parag Jambulkar. In last video, we have seen these locators. These locators are used to identify any component or locate any component on the web page. In this video, we will see two more locators, and those are CSS selector and XPath. But before proceeding further, we need two plugins, two or only one plugin. So out of these two, any one plugin is sufficient. So selectors, hub or crowpath. So these two tools or components or plugins should be there in our browser. So see how to add these plugins to our browser. So here we'll see. Go to Google and here you can type selectors hub. Selectors hub. Now see, this is the first link. See, I am using Chrome browser, so selectors hub for the Chrome browser. In the same way, you can use this selectors hub for the other browsers also. Now see, right click on this. So already I have added this plugin to my Chrome browser. In the same way, so here there will be a button to add this plugin to your browser. In the same way, you can search crowpath plugin. Path plugin for Chrome. So anyone is sufficient. So this you can add to a Chrome. So anyone is sufficient. Now see, we'll go one by one. Now we'll see how to use CSS selector and XPath. CSS selector and XPath are special locators. Why they are special? See, these locators have a particular value, right? ID, so there is ID, name, there is class, there is class value, tag, link test, partial link test. So these values are there, right? These are the particular values, right? These locators are calculated, or these locators are created from the existing these components. So see what I'm saying. These locators are created or constructed from these existing locators or existing component. So here you can use tag, you can use class name, you can use name, something like this. Okay, so by combination of these, you can form this CSS selector and XPath. Now see, we'll go one by one. So first we'll see what is the basic way to create CSS selector and XPath, and side by side we will see examples also. Now see CSS selector. So we have to give tag name, then in the square bracket or rectangular bracket we have to give attribute and is equal to, in single quote we can mention value. Single quote or double quote also you can give, but we will prefer to give single quote. Here you can mention the value. So this is the CSS selector. XPath syntax is somewhat complex. Before tag we have to put this to forward slash, and here before attribute we have to put this sign at. So likewise we have to write XPath, and this is syntax for the CSS selector. We'll see example for this. Now see, here I have opened this Reddit page, Reddit login page. Best way, we'll click here, right click on this, then we'll click on inspect. So see, we got it. So this is the code for this text field. Now see, we have to choose selector sub, right? We have to open selector sub. So here two angles are there, our arrow is there. Click on this. Here there is selector sub, right? Click on this. Now this is a text field we got for the selector sub. Now see, here that I have told how CSS selector is created. So by using this, right, tag attribute is equal to value. So we'll create it. Now see, so for this we are going to create. So see, tag name is input. Then in rectangular bracket we have to mention, suppose we are using ID, so that we will mention. So see, from here we will copy it. ID is equal to login 1, right? So that will mention here, and we'll close it. So double quote we have mentioned, we can also put single quote, no problem. Single quote will put, right? So this is CSS selector code. Now see, if I enter, so I got it, one element matching, and it is also selected. Here you can see it is also selected. Now see, we can use this code in our program. Now we want to use this CSS selector code, right? So driver, then find element by dot. Now see, previously in previous example we have seen by using this class name, id, link text, partial link text, that we have used, right? This time we have to use CSS selector, right? And here in double quote, whatever the CSS selector that we have written here, right? So that code here will copy and we will paste here. Here we will paste. Now see what we want to do. We want to put something. So see, we have selected this text field, right? Now we want to write something in this text field. So here we will write send keys, this method. In double quote we will write something like that, okay? ABC something, semicolon, right? So I have saved. Now see, if I run this program, so here you can see we got ABC, right? We got ABC. Now see, so here we have used this CSS selector. Now see what we will do for this text field, second text field. Now we will use XPath. So see, here I am clicking on this, then right click, go to inspect. Now see, this is the code for this text field, right? And now we will create XPath. For this XPath we will create. So see, what is syntax for XPath? To / tag in a rectangular bracket, add attribute is equal to value, right? So in the same way we will type there. So see, for this, so what is the tag name? Input, right? But before that / input, then rectangular bracket, add symbol, then we'll use the type is equal to password, right? So that we'll use type is equal to, in single quote we'll mention password and rectangular bracket complete, right? Now if I press enter, so see I am getting one element matching and it is selected, right? It is selected. Now I will copy this code and I will use here. So this is XPath. Previously here we have used CSS selector, right? Now see, driver dot find element by dot XPath. Now see, we want to use XPath in double quote, that will mention this XPath we have mentioned, right? And what we want to do, we want to pass some text, right? So we'll enter some text there. So send keys in double quote, something 1 2 3 4 something like this will mention, and this. Okay, so we have used XPath and CSS selector. So these are the basic ways. So we will run this program and we'll check. So see, ABC and what is the password that we have mentioned, 1 2 3 4, it is also there, right? Now see. So these are the ways to use CSS selector and XPath. So these are the basic ways. See, here I have written this is a basic way to use CSS selector and XPath. Now see, best way and easy way is by using inspect and selector sub or grow path, that I will tell. See, this is simplest way. See, every time we have to check which attribute should be used, because that should be unique, right? This attribute and value should be unique. There are multiple possible values of attribute, value and tag, right? So Selenium may choose different component. We want to select something else, but Selenium has choose different one. So this may happen. So to avoid that, best thing is this, by using inspect and selector sub or grow path. We'll see that. We will take cursor on sign in button, then we'll right click on this, then we will go to inspect. Here we will choose selector sub. Now see, for this sign in, see this code is also selected. Here we are not writing XPath or CSS selector. Already we have this code, right? already we got this code. See, so this is CSS selector code, this is XPath code, this is again the XPath code. Here absolutely XPath code like this. So see, already code are given, and here it is written 111. That means by this CSS selector code there is only one component. By this XPath code only there is only one component. Okay, for the XPath code there is only one component. Okay, so directly we can copy this. Now see, I am copying this code and we will use in our code. So see, we want to click that button, right? So we'll go there, driver dot find element by dot. Now whatever the code that we have chosen, so it was CSS selector code, right? So here we'll mention CSS selector. In double quote we'll mention this, right? So this is a CSS selector code that we got, and what we want to click it, right? So we want to click it. So see, it will enter this text field, that is username, password, and automatically it will click. See, if you run this, so see, here it has mentioned username, password, and it has click on sign in. So see, in this way, directly from here you can take it. So see, directly we can copy this CSS selector XPath code. No need to form any XPath or CSS selector code. So for example, see, suppose if you want to locate this, right? So take cursor here, right click on this. See, on this, right click on this, go to inspect. Now see, this is a code, and here there are the CSS selector and XPath code. So directly we can copy for this component. Okay, so it's very easy way to use XPath and CSS selector. Directly we can copy it from here. Okay. So see, here we have seen this is the easiest way by using inspect and selector sub or grouper. Now see, third, by using substring also we can write the CSS selector or XPath code. Now see, here we have seen, right? This is the basic way, right? Just to use substring means substring of this value we can use, and the simple thing that we have to add here, we have to add star. That's the only thing we have to do, and here we can mention the substring. Here you can see only we have to add this star, and here can be value substring of this value. XPath code is somewhat complex. See, I will show you how to write this. So see, this is basic XPath code, right? So that we have written. Now see how to write. I will show. See, I have pasted here. Now see how to write here. See, that is a basic XPath code, right? Here we have to use contains. Close it in a round bracket. Mention in a round bracket, and here instead of is equal to we have to put this comma. This is simplest step, right? Contains we have to add, put in a round bracket, and here instead of is equal to we have to write this comma. So in this way we can write this substring code, right? This is XPath code for the substring, and this is a substring of value. So see, we will check code. We will check it on this example. So see, so here we have used CSS selector, right? So we will copy it, and for this we will use substring of this value. So see, I am commenting previous one, right? Here what we can do, instead of this login one, so suppose I want to mention log only, right? But here small change I have to do, that is star. Here I have to mention. So see, id star is equal to log. So here you can see after attribute value we have to put this star. So id star is equal to this. Now see, and for this XPath, okay, for that also we can do. So we'll copy it. Here we'll paste it. Okay, so previous one we will comment out, right? And here we have to use substring of this value, right? Instead of password, suppose I want to use word only. Okay, I want to use word only. Now see, as we are using a substring of this value, so what we have to do, we have to use this contains, okay, enclosed in this round bracket, and instead of this equal to, we have to mention count, right? So in this way we have to write substring. So XPath we are writing by using substring of value. Here we are using we have used CSS selector code by using substring of this value, right? So see, we'll run this code. See, same result we got. See, whatever previously what we have done by using this, so same thing we have achieved, but by using the substring of this value. So see, we have completed this substring by using substring of the value. Now see, there is one more way to create XPath and CSS selector code, that is by using parent and child traversal. So see, we have to mention parent tag and then we have to mention child tag. And for XPath, this two forward slash parent tag and whatever the child tag we want to mention, that thing we can mention there. So one forward slash child tag. Suppose see, in CSS selector there is one more child tag. Okay, so child tag of this child tag. So I can mention like this. Okay, suppose this is child tag 1. Likewise, I can mention, and there is suppose one more child tag, right? So I can mention like this, child tag 1, something like this I can mention. Okay, so this is parent child traversal, and by this also we can write CSS selector code and XPath code. See, here you can check. So see, this is Amazon registration page. We'll go to inspect. See, here div, inside that there is input tag, right? So we can check like this. So first we'll see CSS selector code. So div, then input. So see, this is CSS selector code. So we have to select first selectors up. Now here you can use. So input and inside div, and after inside that there is input, right? So div and input. So see, here we got 12 elements. Now see, this is CSS selector code, right? And suppose we want to consider XPath. So see, for this we have to write like this, 2/ and this. So see, this is XPath. Here we got 3 elements. As CSS selector shows hidden components also, so it is showing less elements, right? 3 elements only showing. So likewise also we can write XPath. So see, by using parent child traversal. So syntax is like this. Okay, parent tag, CSS selector syntax is very simple. Parent tag space child tag. Again, if there is more child tag, so space you can put. For XPath, 2/ parent tag, and whatever the inside tags are there, right? So / child tag, / child tag. Likewise, you can mention. So this is parent child traversal. Now see, index. So this is also important. See, if there are multiple components by using the same CSS selector or XPath code, so at that time we can use this index. So see, how we are writing code. So see, suppose this is a basic way, right? So this is a basic way. So for index, see, I have pasted. Now see, for CSS selector, suppose you want to use index. So see, suppose there are multiple components by this CSS selector code. So by the index we can choose a particular one. And what is the code, or what is syntax for this? Colon n dash child, and in round bracket you have to mention the particular index. Okay, likewise you can mention. So see, here example we'll see. Suppose we want to, here suppose in Reddit mail, suppose here for this, suppose you want to write. So right click on this, go to inspect. Now see, so input ID is equal to login 1, right? So input, and here ID is equal to login 1, right? So here we got only one, right? But suppose there are multiple, so in that case we have to write code like this: n child, and in round bracket something we have to mention, right? So here is only one, but if there are multiple, so likewise by using this index, by using indices, we can select particular text field. So this is for the CSS selector. And if it is XPath, so it is very simple. See, in a rectangular bracket we have to mention 2, 3, whatever it is. Likewise you can mention. So see here, for same thing only. Suppose here you are writing XPath. So suppose 2/ input in rectangular bracket at, suppose you are typing ID is equal to login1, right? So here there is only one, but suppose there are multiple, so we can choose like this. Okay, so it is get selected, right? So likewise we can choose in XPath. So in this way, by providing these indices, we can select any particular component. If there are multiple components, by using this CSS selector or by using this XPath. So by using index, we can select it. Now see, we can write CSS selector code by using tag and class name or ID. So see, for this syntax is like this: tag dot class name or tag hash ID. See example, we'll see. So there is no class name for this. Suppose for this, okay. So for the checkbox, we'll inspect. Now see, there is class name, right? So tag name is label, right? Label dot, what is class name? So we'll copy it. Now see, we got this component, right? So this is CSS selector, like, so this is one way. Now see, if there is ID, so see there is no ID, so we'll do one thing. For this we'll inspect. Now see, here is ID, right? So see, for this we can write input. Now it is ID we are using, right? So hash, and what is ID? So here you can copy login1. So here we can mention it. Now see, one element matching, so it got selected. So likewise also we can create CSS selector code, tag dot class name or tag hash ID. Likewise you can create. So in this way we can use this locator, CSS selector and XPath. So friends, I hope you like this video. If yes, then click on like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press bell icon so that you will get notification of my next video. So stay connected. Thank you.